Hi everyone, I'm really happy to be able to give you a few words of introduction about our activity. I'm really disappointed I couldn't be with you in Lagos today for this outstanding first Coworking Nigeria conference. The organizer told me that the event was sold out for the first time. It's really outstanding. Congratulations to you all, and this is definitely the confirmation that coworking now is becoming a universal thing, something which is touching everybody nowadays. It's resonates with the expectation and the needs from the growing breed of coworkers and entrepreneurs and freelancers and workers from all over the place. And Nigeria is no exception, as this event just confirmed. So already congratulations, and I wish I could be with you today. I think there is so many things and so many experiences to share with you and with the African coworking scene more broadly speaking. So I've been asked to give you a word of introduction about who we are and what we do. So our company is called SocialWorkplaces.com. Our name was not always like that. It came because 8 years ago we started with the first Coworking Europe conference, and we discovered coworking, like many of you most likely, by being a user. I live at the time in Brussels, Belgium, and I had quit my job. I used to be a business journalist, and just at that period in 2010 opened up the first co-working space in Belgium called Hub Brussels, and it was a revelation moment for me because all of a sudden I could experience a co-working experience, being surrounded with peers and like-minded people for an affordable price. I was just starting up my own business, and as you know, cost is really important, and having to pay for an office can be a burden when you start your business. And so co-working gave me the best of every world. So the social connection, the network of people and peers, because I needed contact, I needed people to meet, to catch up with, to partner up with, and I needed some suppliers to build up my website, and also customer and people who would be interested by what I was then at the time doing. And when we started with the Coworking Europe conference, we thought we would have 50 people maybe. We were 150. And it was really a revelation moment at the time. So since then we said, okay, coworking is there to be a big thing and to grow up. And actually, with time, we figured out that coworking was definitely redefining what is the concept of a workplace. Why do you need a workplace in general? Why do you need an office? Or do you need to call it an office anymore? At a time when all your tools are on your computer, are in the cloud. And this is really something of big importance as far as we see it, because actually why is coworking becoming so successful all around the world? It's mainly because it fits with the needs of modern workers and modern entrepreneurs. So as far as your tools, and you do a lot of your activities online, and why do you need a workplace? And the answer coworking gave actually was, you need the social interaction. You need a vibrant environment where you can work from, when you can have meetings, small or big, where you can be productive. If you really are the kind of person who need to be productive and focused from 9 to 5 or longer hours, if you are an entrepreneur, or if you are a more social kind of person who needs more interactions to have fun with the people you are surrounded with. So all those needs are perfectly matched within a co-working space nowadays. So that's why we think co-working is just, as we say, the new workplace in general, the new standard. And that's why we call it actually social workplace, because from the co-working experience we figure out that actually this is the need that any worker needs in any workplace nowadays, and not only the roof and the table and the chairs. This is something which is needed, like for anything, but it's not. It's like for a car. You need some tires to bring you to the destination you want to go. But this is something which is one element of all offering that give you the experience you will have as far as mobility is concerned for you. So nowadays the Coworking Europe conference is the biggest coworking conference in the world. We expect 500 people this year in Dublin, Ireland. And based on our experience as well, we figured out that what we saw in Europe and what we saw as well in the US, for instance, or in Australia, thanks to the contact with all the people gathering co-working space and co-working communities over there, that what we experience in our countries was actually something which is definitely coming and popping up in Africa or in India, where we also had some contact. So we figured out that we could maybe set up the same kind of conference for Africa, and we organized the first Co-working Africa conference in Cape Town, in South Africa, in 2015. And we did it again in Cape Town the year after, which was more like a meetup. So the conference was not a big one, but it was really the opportunity for us to connect with the African co-working scene, which is really at its very young age, as we were 8 years ago in Europe or in the US, but which is catching up quite rapidly. Also, we assume benefiting from the experience we had in our own countries. And the challenges Africa is facing are really important, obviously, but the opportunities are huge. Also to support the development of modern Africa, digitized Africa, connected with people in Europe or in the rest of the world, and really to connect Africa with the rest of the world is something we think co-working can be of great help to achieve that. So this is what we see nowadays, and Nigeria, by being the biggest and the most the fastest growing country in Africa, is definitely a huge role to become a gateway for the co-working scene from Africa, and gateway for people coming from the US, from Europe, from Asia, to engage with like-minded and peers from Nigeria and more broadly speaking from the African entrepreneurial scene, and vice versa. So our co-working space being a gateway and a way also to contact and get in touch with the communities that we have in our own countries. Now, to say a word also about co-working as a concept. So we indeed, from where we are seeing that in Nigeria you are seeing a lot of new professional co-working space. So like everywhere, you start to see pioneers coming up with the first co-working spaces, second, usually small ones, driven by passion, which is super important to build the community. But then things become more professional, and more investors come into the game, and this is a maturation process that we see in every country, with different level of maturation as far as we are, and this is something we definitely see now coming in Nigeria, which is outstanding as well, because it means that we are seeing a new industry coming up, which is good for Nigeria, for Nigerian entrepreneurs, for Nigerian SMEs and freelancers, which is good for the Nigerian economy, for Nigerian cities, so to challenge and to deal with all issues we all experience. I know Lagos is famous for being a very crowded city and with a lot of mobility problems, but we experience that as well in a lot of European cities. And co-working comes also as an experience and a way to create networks of satellites workplaces where you can work from and remotely, and also to engage with other players and entrepreneurs like you are. So co-working is also a great way to bring a new kind of value and sustainable value for the real estate, actually. So the time where you came with a big building that you converted into an office that you out of which you create slice of lease surfaces for long term, this time start to be something more and more from the past. As far as the new businesses now need more flexibility, they need to be able to scale up very rapidly. There are also different needs nowadays in terms of collaboration, facilitation, partnerships. So the team that you have in 1 month won't necessarily be the same the months after, and you need also to engage with small freelancers and things like that. So having a space, a workspace, which allow you to be as efficient and flexible and nimble as possible from that perspective, it becomes really critical for new businesses. And as you are a real estate operator, you need to address the challenge. And what again we see from our experience that Coworking is a perfect offering solution. Now it's also a service-driven industry, so it means that to find your customers and to be efficient and to build up the very good community, you need it needs some hospitality level. It needs that your meeting room need to be clean. The process to rent the rooms or to rent the meeting rooms or the common areas need to be very smooth and efficient and quick. Things have to be clear. The communication and the marketing is to be very straightforward and very efficient and effective. So from that perspective, coworking is also a really a job is something which is related to a specific industry where you need to build up skills and best practices. Yes, it has a tremendous impact to facilitate and ignite new community feelings and create an ecosystem, support an ecosystem. But it has to be made in a very professional and a service-driven and care way. So as far as new operators deal with that in a proper manner, they will be successful with it. And likely what we are going to see is the arrival of bigger player, bigger space, who are going to be run somehow to small villages of workplaces. This is something we also see in the biggest European city nowadays, or you speak London or Paris or Barcelona, but it doesn't mean that there is no room for the independent players, smaller ones, but more focused one with a stronger community feelings or more like family sometimes. Just the same way the industry, the hotel industry structured itself up. You have big players, you have big facilities which are more standard, more common, and you have high level and lower level ones. And on the other side, you have family kind of hotels or Airbnbs where people are looking for something different. As far as they have a proper need and something they are looking for, they will by themselves find the proper place, the most relevant place where they will be happy to work from. In terms, I've been asked also to mention who are the main players now in the coworking industry. So there are more and more. Actually, you see more and more platform where you can find, for instance, for nomad workers, pick a place somewhere in the world and say, okay, I want to work from there for 2 months, 3 months. There are more and more kind of facilities like that, and platforms and service platforms, or also social media groups who helps you to figure out which are the kind place or to engage with some players and community operator. We have our conferences, but we are not the only one to organize conferences. You have conferences now in Thailand, you have Juicy Conference in the US or in Australia or in Canada. You have smaller conferences, the one in Spain, or you have a conference in Germany, and around all those events, small or big, you have small connection and network of co-working space operator which are structuring themselves up. And this also one of the elements we see of the maturation and structuration of the market nowadays, of the co-working market, and very importantly as well is that co-working space, I mentioned it a little bit previously, help to structure out or to support the building up of ecosystem, innovation ecosystem on a local level, ecosystem of entrepreneurs, but also to engage with different kind of player on the local level. So it's not only about the space itself, it's also about the community which the space managers manage actually to create around them the virtual community, and this is very important also because these communities also what brings the value to your space. It's not only about the people working from there from some days or in regular office all the time. It's also all many people or communities of communities on a local level or on an international level connected with you will be able to engage and to be in contact, in touch with one another, thanks to the fact that you are creating that kind of platform. And thinking as a node, thinking as a platform is something also very critical for successful co-working spaces, because at the end of the day, this is what makes you a different kind of animal as traditional office or business centers, which are good just to provide you with a roof and walls for your company, but it doesn't go much further than that. And they want a traditional office is not going to amplify your business. Co-working space amplifies you and your business, and this is what we claim also from our perspective as SocialWorkplaces.com, and with the little other project we have, such as Coworking Africa, so Coworking India and Coworking Europe. So this was my maybe 2 cents for today. I tried to not to be too long. I hope you enjoy a fantastic conference in Lagos. Congratulations for all the good work you do. We are really keen and very excited to see the development of this huge co-working scene in Nigeria. Nigeria has and you have to have an incredible role to play in order to build up the ecosystem of Nigerian co-working space, but furthermore, to build up the ecosystem of Nigeria as a digital friendly place, able to become a gateway in and out for people aiming to engage and connect with the Nigerian co-working scene, which has a big role to play in the world nowadays, and we see that coming, as well as you being a gateway from Nigeria, your space is being a gateway to engage with co-working space in our countries, in order to create united planets and around co-working. So all the best with the great conference. I wish I was there. I hope I can make it maybe next year, and feel free to connect with us anytime. We have this Coworking Africa website, which is not super active for the moment, to say the truth, but we are working on that. And also we have the Coworking Europe conference, and if you can make it, it will be in Dublin in the beginning of November of this year. Thanks a lot, and bye guys.